How are my swivel servants? Right, I see your heads down, the energy's starting to get low. If you were like me, right, it was super hard to leave the building because what I was most concerned about what was I missing at work? And the reason I was so concerned about that was because all the people that did the work didn't have access to the communications required to go across agencies to be able to solve problems. So what we're going to talk to you about today is a revolutionary new way of delivering an operating system. Maybe we will talk about that. I'm going to give you a very personal story, 2018. I'm going to tell you about this little product so that Alana's going to demonstrate. I was the Chief of Staff at Headquarters European Command, and if you remember 2018, we had just declared an end to the Afghanistan involvement, the war. And we had 20,000 American citizens, both uniformed members, non-uniformed members, across all of your agencies that we were trying to get out of town. But in order to do that, we had to leverage multiple agencies, multiple applications, multiple systems to figure out how do I shoot, move, and communicate? How do I deliver banking? How do I deliver finances? How do I deliver transportation, logistics, social services, treasury, commerce, labor, defense, and how do I do it in a safe, secure way? And they tried every platform that you guys use in Shadow IT, because we embrace the suck as federal servants, don't we? We go make it up behind the scenes. So we send stuff. We were using Facebook Messenger. We were using WhatsApp. We were on Instant Message, right? If you were in the IC, we were on Signal and Wicker Pro. We were leveraging all these things. And to Mia's point earlier, government was frustrated and American citizens couldn't get out of country to get back home. One special operator calls back to his wife, I kid you not, he was a young major, frustrated as can be, and he says, sweetheart, I don't know how to communicate with all these people. This is an absolute cluster. You guys can relate. What do I do? And she said, my Moms of Preschoolers group uses Slack. Slack. She's like, what's Slack? I don't know, but it's this really cool app and allows all the moms to talk. There's a 3-year-old channel, a 4-year-old channel, a 6-year-old channel. She goes, moms can get in, dads can get in, teachers can get in. So lo and behold, this special operator deploys Slack, the free version, to 186 interdepartmental agencies, and in less than 14 days, we got 20,000 American citizens out of Afghanistan back into the good old US of A. I think that's a pretty powerful testament. And 7 years later, right, we are now delivering even greater experience. The great assistant or deputy CIO just talked about AI is present in some of the Salesforce. Hopefully what you've heard today, Salesforce is an AI company first. Every single product that we deliver has an autonomous agent AI engine deeply embedded in the unified platform. So if you are a Salesforce user today and you would like to create differentiation, you just have to talk to us and we will help you turn it on and start realizing the benefits. Now I want to get back to this new revolutionary work operating system quickly, because I call it the 3 works. Think of your own work today and think about how your workspace is different from your workflow, which is different from your workforce. Back to being a swivel servant. I have to go into TMT to do my tasking. I have to go into my email, right? An email passed as a task received. Oh, it didn't get done on time? I must have blown the suspense. Let me send up another email just to say that I couldn't get it or ask for an extension. How many of you remember business continuity, right? Continuity books on binders that were purely subjective and non-objective because they didn't leverage the right data points. But the other piece that I want you to think about is all of the workflows that exist where you have to go to different systems. I have to go to a different system to approve travel. God forbid there's the frontline operator whose wife calls him and says, hey, remember, Sally's ballet recital is tomorrow. Oh, shoot, I forgot to take time off. I have to go back to the office. I have to log in with my common access card. I have to fill out a form. I hope that it routes the right way. Oh, my supervisor's off and didn't approve it. What we're delivering to you here is the ability to integrate every possible workflow with every system of record directly in the flow of work. You see some case studies behind me of different onboarding and research and DevSecOps if you're in the IT space. But more importantly, we have flattened the hierarchy of communication by delivering collaboration, communication, and documentation with full enterprise search across the entire platform, leveraging data first, in real time, all the time. And I talked about this slide earlier about linking everything that you've heard today in this conversational interface between humans and agents. But here's the kicker. How many of you would like 50% more productivity in every single day, and you as managers and leaders get to promise Johnny and Sally that they will be at a Little League baseball game or they'll be at a ballet recital because you've increased your productivity and efficiency every single day? And what's even more important than that, not is only delivering the agents directly in Slack, it is the easiest way to deploy everything. Slack, by the way, is an acronym. It stands for the searchable log of all company knowledge. So think about this. How many of you are tired of submitting weekly activity reports to your leadership? I already did the work and now I have to sit down and tell you what I did? Imagine, and what the Slacktivator, Alana Landsman, is going to show you quickly, is not only how you can speed up and swarm for RFP creation, speed up the integration of job classifications and onboarding of civilian personnel, and with a click of a single button, recap time A to time B, whether it is a week, a month, or a year, internal to channels, solely on Slack. The Slacktivator herself, Alana.
I want to walk you through a few examples of how Slack can help federal agencies. Let's start with the RFP creation and review process. Gone are the days of waiting for RFP updates in your inbox. Slack can help you take action on your most pressing RFPs in real time. And Slack AI can significantly streamline the end-to-end process. Teams can create dedicated channels where stakeholders from across the agency, like legal, HR, and mission owners, can come together and discuss requirements, share documentation, and stay up to date with progress. And Slack-powered AI search and collaboration can just really help you streamline and just make the whole process so much faster. With Slack's Workflow Builder, you can automate routine processes like document reviews and approvals. And integration with Salesforce means that your RFP-related data can stay up to date in both platforms. And if you've been watching the demo on the screen, now with Agentforce, it can look at your previous discussions and documentation and actually create an RFP draft based on previously created templates, saving your team hours and hours of work. Okay, let's look at another example. If you've ever been involved in the hiring process at a federal agency, you might know that it could take, on average, 256 days to complete the process, from creating the position description to classifying the job, all the way to onboarding the individual. With Slack, agencies can complete that progress in a matter of weeks. Sometimes even a little change needs to go through a classification authority. It is a long, linear process. And as Jamison said, Slack can flatten that communication hierarchy, making it so easy to just get everything done in real time simultaneously. And whether you want to work in Slack or Salesforce, now you can collaborate and access your data in the location of your choice with Salesforce channels. And many times you need to bring in an external authority to get clarification on something. Well, now you can just add them to the channel and get that question answered immediately, instead of sending an email that maybe will never even be responded to. Let's bring Agentforce on top of all of this. Agentforce can be configured to analyze position descriptions, match job requirements to classification standards, all while looking at federal guidelines. Agentforce and Data Cloud can look at previous recommendations, store documentation, and actually create a job classification recommendation. Again, saving your team hours of work. Now, I want to look at one of my favorite features, Slack recaps. You're sitting on the metro, you have some idle time, you pull out your phone. First, of course, you do the Wordle. You get it in 3, by the way. After you're done with the Wordle, you pull out Slack. Instead of looking through all of your channels and all of your messages, which takes a lot of time, you open up Slack recaps, which will create AI summaries of the most important discussions in your most prioritized channels, helping you stay up to date on all the new developments. Okay, lastly, I'm really excited about this. Thanks to the AI action plan you've been hearing about today and GSA's OneGov strategy, Slack right now is 90% off. Yes. And that means that for less than $10 per user per month, your federal employees can get more than 50% productivity. Okay, and I know I'm kind of sounding like an infomercial right now, but you better act fast because you only have until November 30th to take advantage of this deal. So, if you want streamlined collaboration, automated processes, and help working with agents to reduce all of that backlog you have in your agencies, it's time to get Slack. Thank you.